We begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by praising Him, by glorifying Him. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send peace and blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower this gathering with His mercy and make it a source of blessings for us, a source of learning and understanding, and make it a source of forgiveness in dunya and akhirah. Say Ameen. One of the things about the revelation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself, He testifies that whatever the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam he received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first person to have iman in it completely is the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam himself. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون. That Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he received this revelation, this message, this huge news that came from the Creator of the worlds, when it arrived to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he believed in it 100%. And then he started to explain what he was receiving sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the news that came to him was something that the Quraysh, they were not familiar with. And so to them this was like a breaking news, and they're all talking about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, عَمَّا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. Like, what is all this, talk, this gossip that's happening? Everyone's asking about this. Have you heard what he's saying? Have you heard what's going on? Have you heard the latest news? Have you heard the latest surah? So they're all talking. Quraysh were buzzing with gossip. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what is this huge conversation for them? This subject that they're so intrigued about. عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ, this mighty news. They thought this is a sensational thing. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's talking about reality. And this tells us something about our nature, is that human beings, we are sensational creatures. When things happen, for a moment it's a big news, and then what happens? And then we move on to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So this big news that we're talking about today, this is to you and me, it's old news. I've heard this 1,000 times. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about this, and He's saying this is Naba'ul Azim. This is the greatest news. And the word Nabi, a prophet, is someone who brings this Naba, brings this prophecy, this revelation. And so Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he had brought a message from the Creator of the universe to tell humankind, you and me, that, oh human being, this life that you're living right now, this is not all there is to see. That this experience you're having right now, that you call life, where you're breathing and you're moving around and you're experiencing all these things, and you have a family and you have a job and you're working and you have all these projects and you have all these goals and you have all these dreams, all of this is only a drop in the ocean of reality, in the ocean of existence. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا. But you love this dunya and you prefer it and you're so adamant about it. وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. But the hereafter that's coming, it is much better and is everlasting.